Jimmy Failla, host of Fox News Saturday Night, does. And Caroline Sunshine, Trump 2024 Deputy Comms Director, does.
Boom.
I hope. Jimmy, start me off on this. Why are the players doing this? And I kind of forgot about the mob. Gee, I haven't seen a rerun of Godfather in quite some time.
Amen. But, you know, it's good to know they're out there, because if Mamdani wins, we could still have safe streets.
With the mob.
Yeah, you know, people talk ill of the mob, but they never talk about filthy neighborhoods or petty crime like we're going to see under Mamdani. But getting past that, this is obviously a serious story. When big, rich NBA players, NBA coaches wind up embedded with the mob, it's usually because there's an incentive beyond money. You know, people go, oh, this guy, Rozier, down on the Heat, makes $100 million. Why does he need to be gambling at a poker game?
Rich guy.
Okay, they do like the action. They are competitive. But usually if they're literally fixing matches for the mob, it's either A, to pay off a debt, or B, because they fraternize with a group of people that are hiding other illicit behaviors. Side chicks, stuff like that. Drug use. I don't have an answer.
No,
I'm just telling you, it has to be beyond financial.
There's more to it.
And I'm speaking to you as a real gambler. Like, I ate a chicken kebab in Times Square an hour ago. Okay, you talk about rolling the dice, Larry.
I've asked you about interest rates. You'll never give me odds.
No, listen,
or lower.
Can we jump in right now? The mob will give you better interest rates than the banks right now. Another reason we should actually be rooting for them to make a comeback.
Caroline, he could be right, though. Left up to their own devices, the mob is better for public safety than a lot of these Democratic candidates for mayor, especially Mamdani.
Yeah, I think they're worried, too. Mamdani's not good for business because he's going to legalize all of it.
But you think he's going to win?
The model.
You still think he's going to win, even though Cuomo had a good debate and Curtis had a good debate.
I don't think he had a good debate.
I don't want to lose the NBA story.
No, we'll get there.
As a sideshow here.
I mean, so I watched last night and I thought, I've seen this movie before. Cuomo was Biden to me and Mamdani was Trump. Cuomo to me was stiff, slow. He looked like the incumbent, even though he isn't. He had low energy. He wasn't connecting with the audience. He wasn't landing the attacks. Mamdani had energy. He had outsider energy. He was getting through the goalposts every time. And, by the way, he completely copied the Trump debate playbook when he brought up and said, you know, there's a woman in the audience tonight who was one of your accusers. She can't speak, so, you know, I'm going to speak for her. What do you have to say?
Sex
That's
charges.
literally what the Trump campaign did in 2016.
Curtis Leo was the only guy that made any sense.
Well,
issue after issue after issue, Curtis Leo was the only guy that made any sense.
And he's entertaining.
Low taxes, no rent controls, better crime, affordable housing.
Substantively, he is the best. You know, one thing I think people are misreading as a New York radio host, and I know you have Mark Simone a lot too. Shout out to the great Mark Simone, WOR. Hey, girl. Curtis Lee was following. Everybody's like, Slee was got to drop out because it'll help Cuomo. No, it won't. Okay. The Sleewas and the Cuomos are the Yankees and the Red Sox. When the Yankees don't make the playoffs, their fans don't go root for their hated rival, the Red Sox. Sliwa has hated the Cuomos for 40 years in New York media.
That's a good point. It's an important point. All right, let me come back.
Yep.
How deep is this NBA mob story going to go? They're saying 30 players are involved, all the crime families are involved, or 4 of the crime families are involved. This is stuff that I haven't thought about in a long time, but it makes great reading. But it's pretty serious stuff. How deep is this going to go?
Really serious. What I think we're going to ultimately find out is whether or not we've hit bottom in this story, there's going to be a preponderance of gambling-related scandals surrounding pro sports. We've already had them in baseball. We have a player on the Guardians banned for life in relation to a pitch that might have been fixed. What happened is the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, there's a lot of money to be made off gambling. But every time you introduce new ways to gamble, you introduce new ways to fix. Okay, in the old days, you could bet who's going to win, who's going to lose, and how many points they're going to score. Now you could bet how many garbage cans they're going to be in Section 219. What's the over-under on the national anthem? You can bet whether the national anthem will go longer than 90 seconds. So you're telling me you can't grease Whitney Houston if she were still here, the best national anthem of all time, to hold Home of the Brave for an extra 10 seconds?
So the proliferation of gambling, you're talking legalized gambling.
Yeah, it's legal.
That is opening the door for the mob to
This is everything they worried about.
And they will fix everything that they can get their little hands on.
Amen. That's what's happening.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and it doesn't require them to fix the game. Like, it doesn't hurt the integrity.
Well, that was a question I had of our, Nate Foy, our reporter.
Yeah.
Is this like the 1919 World Series when the Black Sox literally fixed the World Series?
No, what it is you think of it now. You can bet whether the first pitch of the game will be a ball or a strike. That's the whole bet. So if I'm pitching to Caroline and you've paid me to throw a ball, I just throw a ball, it's over. Now I could strike her out on the next 3 pitches. The bet is not affected. So they're doing things that also give the leagues this plausible deniability because they're not fixing the
But
game.
this is going to run deep.
I guarantee it.
You agree with that? Because this is going to become a political issue. Isn't there going to be a backlash against all this legalized gambling at some point? I mean, once the mob comes in, better or worse, boom.
I mean, I just want to be the biggest winner, candidly. I mean, I want the rights to this story so I can adapt it into a screenplay.
you
This
trying to
could
do
be
that?
my Goodfellas. I need to get it before Scorsese. I mean, this story has everything. That, you know, one of the guys, one of the guys involved is the son of a mob capo named Quack Quack. Write me a better story. So I don't think this is good for anybody except for the
It came up
movies.
in the debate last night where gambling should be. I mean, they were talking about it.
Well, listen.
young
Is
people
anybody
love-
against? Anybody? Last one. We're going to run out of time. Is anybody in the public sphere against gambling? I mean, would anyone stand up and say this shows we have to stop all this legalized gambling?
There was a time when they would have, but I think the cash, it's just too alluring. I mean, think of this, Larry. Every single sports show covering this today is running an ad for DraftKings Online Casino underneath the analysis.
I know, it's an incredible
Everything you
story.
need to know.
So you think Mamdami's going to be the next mayor?
100%.
You think Mamdami's going to be the next mayor?
with certainty.
So then Elise Stefanik will save New York.
She better.
Count us in.
Let's go. Get us the odds on that.
We'll go on the road.
We'll bet that
Take
too.
the show on the
We'll
road.
make book on it.
Let's go.
Caroline Sunshine and Jimmy Failla. Scan the QR code on your screen for free tickets to Fox News Saturday Night with Jimmy every Saturday at 10 p.m. and the best of the best.